Hello, 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 my beautiful friend, and welcome to this episode of Angels Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jeannie Street, and I am honored and blessed to have you here. If you're ready to step into your empath and sensitive soul abilities, you're going to want to check out my masterclass. The Empath and Sensitive Soul Masterclass will help you tap into your psychic abilities in a God-based manner. This is a really beautiful day, and I know you're going to want to experience this. So get over to my website at jeanniestreet.com/events and sign up today. So let's get on to this week's podcast. Continuing with my Summer Yumminess Series, where I am supporting you with little nuggets of love. Last week, I shared the complete Chapter 1 of my latest book, Believe Angels Don't Lie, A Heavenly View for God's Plan for Your Well-Being. This book and its complete audiobook are available on all major retailers and on Audible. Well, for today, we're going to jump into Chapter 2. And I'm gifting you a section of Chapter 2 that I know is going to really help you. So it's knowing our soul's truth. Inside, I'm going to dive in with you on the concept of feeling lost in your life and let you know what I learned and how I learned to take my power back. What I learned from my angels and what they taught me will really help you to turn any given situation around so that works for you instead of really against you. I hope you enjoy the benefit from all this yumminess of Chapter 2.
When she smiles at you, she'll say, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, no, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, 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 no.
Chapter 2, Knowing Our Soul's Truth. You cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. Swami Vivekananda. Feeling lost. I think it's safe to say that most of us get lost within our lives. I've witnessed colleagues, clients, family, and friends experience not knowing their true path in life, and I spent many years like this myself. It's a painful feeling to be lost, disconnected from our soul's truth. When this was my experience, I was happy to some extent, but I was still lost. I had given my power away. Fear had me believing that I was undeserving and unworthy, that I wasn't smart because I hadn't done well in school or attended college. I felt unlovable. With such little self-respect, I unknowingly taught others to treat me the same way I was treating myself, like crap. I had to relearn how to love myself, and by doing so, I was able to take my power back with pure goddess style. There are still moments when those old fear-based beliefs will creep back in and I feel unworthy. Because I am an empath, my sense of knowing is like an open faucet that fills my body with the feelings and emotions of others. I can get caught up in what others think about me and almost immediately fall out of my goddess alignment. These are times when I remind myself that the energy of others is not my truth. When I stay in connection with a client and the flow of their reading, their energy can convert into confusing feelings and sensations and emotions within my body and mind. This is true for any one of us who is sensitive to the energy of others. When Shmigo and his fear jump in and claim those feelings, sensations, and emotions as thoughts, he works to fill my mind with his endless fearful lies. These lies connect the felt experience of another person to my own history, which in turn brings the feelings of unworthiness I just mentioned. Exercise. I learned the following trick from the angels. It helps me release the fear and surrender to love with faith. While keeping my connection to my client, I shut off the connection with Shmigo, returning to my truth and soul self. I invite you to try it. It's a nifty trick that I use to turn off the negative aspects that accompany being an empath and stop fear in its tracks. You can do the following exercise wherever and whenever you need it. Surrendering to love. Begin by setting your intention to surrender to God in the moment. Close your eyes as you place the palms of your hands on your upper chest. Breathe in through your nose until you feel your chest rise under your palms. Repeat this mantra: I am the grace of God. Hold the breath for the count of 5 before slowly releasing it out through your mouth. Repeat the mantra again: I am the grace of God. I recommend that you repeat this exercise 3 times in a row. Journal prompts. After completing the exercise, use the following journal prompts to write about your experience in your journal. What intention did you set at the beginning of the exercise? What did you experience during the exercise? How did the exercise support you during your day? Knowing our life path. Owning who we are in this life comes easily for some people, yet remains perplexing to others. Some know early on what they will do in their life. They seemingly just know their life's path. The rest of us aren't so sure, which puts us at risk for inadvertently giving our personal power away. This reduction of personal power happens little bits at a time, as our feelings of unworthiness, self-loathing, or discomfort begin to change the way we view the world around us. The people we know throughout our lives and the experiences we live through eventually become how we live and think. Our thoughts and actions are either healthy and love-based, or they are laced with fear. Many spiritual teachers teach and talk about the fact that our thoughts turn into our reality. This is both a truth and a healing that the angels say is vital for our happiness. I know that I've certainly fallen into judgment or victimhood when I've been pushed the wrong way. Most of us find that our judgment arises when we feel threatened or angry. Our relationships with others, and particularly the patterns within them, can also show us the truth about our own self-limiting beliefs and judgmental tones. This is because relationships are reflections. Doing the you work to be the love for yourself first will ultimately guide you to see where love has always been available to you throughout your life. No matter how painful the event, with enough you work, you will find the love rather than the pain you've chosen to see in its place. Since changing my point of view to focus on love and owning my personal power, I've been called an optimist by some, and it wasn't necessarily as a compliment. The way I see it, haters are going to hate, and we don't have to take on their yucky energy. Seeing the negative and being brave. It's often easier for us to see the negative instead of the positive in any given situation. This is why it's so easy to judge ourselves and each other. I share the same exercise with my clients that the angels guided me to do years ago when I began doing my you work. Make a list of fear thoughts versus love thoughts. I've witnessed the beneficial results this exercise has on an individual's life, just by listing out their fear and love thoughts for 1 week. When doing this exercise, most people discover very quickly that they are fear addicts. When we change our thoughts from fear to love, our perception changes too. Then we can go back through our old stories and life events and witness where love was available to us instead of revealing that event from the standpoint of victimhood. By doing so, we heal the pain of the past. I know this from my own experience. I became a mother at a young age. I was just 20 when I had my first baby and 22 when I had my second. Looking back, I see now that I wasn't present in my body most of those 22 years. I would fly out of my body or retreat within to hide from the energy I was experiencing, a trait that is common among both empaths and sensitive souls. But I knew one thing for sure: I wanted to be a mother. My first baby was delivered via emergency cesarean section and left me with more than one scar, one physical, the other emotional, as I'd almost lost my baby during labor. I was therefore quite fearful the second time around. As it turned out, I had a completely different delivery. In the middle of a contraction, the doctor saw that I was disconnected from my body. He brought out a mirror so I could connect with what was happening, not only with my body, but also with the labor itself. The problem was that I had been going through the motions of pushing, yet was having little success. The pain was really intense, and I wasn't making much progress. It was too late for any pain medication, and I was actually feeling like giving up, because in my mind, my pelvic bone was either going to burn apart or break in half. The doctor brought out the mirror and told me he wanted me to watch the next contraction before I pushed. I was horrified. Was he serious? He really wanted me to look down there? At that pain? I can't look at that pain, I thought. I had to hold it in. That's what I'd always done. He's crazy, and I will not follow along with crazy. I know now that his point was to have me to be present, not only in the moment, but also in my body. He knew that this would help me be more effective in my laboring. He was, in essence, being the love I needed at that moment. But I was horrified, and my decision was to stay hidden within and not to look pain in the eye. Lo and behold, I finally made it through the delivery without looking in that horrid, stupid mirror, and gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. I was clearly not ready to be awakened. More than 30 years later, I once again find myself called to look into that proverbial mirror. This time the mirror is the reflection of my truth and why I keep hiding the true source of who I am now that fear has been stripped away. I hide behind shy, introverted behaviors to avoid speaking my truth to family and friends who know that old version of me. I cannot tell you how many of these old, close pals I've known through the years, some of whom are in my family, say, "Jeannie, how come I didn't know you were a medium?" The truth is, I have been worried that they would judge me, and in that judgment, choose not to love me. Schmigo's twisted fear-based illusion had me believing that they would leave me, taking their love and running far, far away. Yet now, I see the mirror of truth reflecting back at me, telling me that my fear is a judgment of others. So now in this mirror of truth, of love, of being whole, I find I have to be both vulnerable and brave enough to share my story. I have to look right at the pain that accompanies my fear of not being loved. I have to push through it anyway. I was pondering all these illusions when the angels illuminated my soul path. I was sitting at the edge of the gynecologist's table, wearing a paper robe. I stared at the stirrups at the end of the table, my dangling legs jittering nervously as I awaited the doctor's arrival. I knew I had to lie back and put my feet in the stirrups. And just like when I was delivering my babies, I sensed a birthing happening. I was suddenly flooded with the feelings of just how uncomfortable it was to be there on that table. I thought, here you are again, Jeannie. You've got to put your feet in those darn stirrups, with only this thin paper robe to clench to for protection. Now this is vulnerability. In seconds, you'll be heels high in this awkward moment. It was there, in all my uneasiness, when I was feeling stripped down and exposed, that I became acutely aware I was actually experiencing the energy of bravery. Yes, I was vulnerable, but I paired that vulnerability with my bravery to stand in my truth, or in this case, lie with my feet in those stupid stirrups. I realized that moments like those are when layers of ego self are peeled away. Being exposed is something I've generally tried to avoid, often by running away. Maybe you've experienced running away as well. But now I'm choosing love and staying in the moment rather than retreating. Faith is what supports and holds me in that love, and that's exactly what I wish for you as well. You don't have to be at the gynecologist's office to find your bravery, but it's just so happened to be the place where mine showed up. Go figure. All right, my friend, I hope you enjoyed this section of Chapter 2, and it really serves your soul and lights you up. I'd love to hear your key takeaways in the comment section. And remember that the Empath and Sensitive Soul Masterclass is on August 20th, and tickets are just about sold out, so I want you to be there. Get into that now. JeannieStreet.com/events. I know that you can order a full copy of Believe Angels Don't Lie. You can head over to my website or to your major book retailers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, whatever suits your fancy, and order your copy today. It's also available on Audible. I hope you have a beautiful day and that you know that you are loved and held. And remember, I know what I know because angels don't lie. God bless you, love. Have a beautiful day.